Hello everyone, Ace here, and today I'm going to have to talk about the latest example of censorship and tyranny that we've seen on YouTube recently. And this time is from the tabletop company known as Games Workshop, who are, as I'm sure many of you are well aware, responsible for Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k. And many of my viewers will no doubt be familiar with Arch Warhammer, a fairly famous YouTuber from the Warhammer community, one that has also, however, been outspoken against woke culture in the tabletop community. And the reason I bring this all up is that it has just come to light that Games Workshop has decided to file a trademark strike against Arch Warhammer specifically, claiming that because his channel is monetized, he is not allowed to utter the phrase Warhammer, as that is a trademark violation. Yes, you heard me right. Not only is he no longer allowed to refer to himself as Arch Warhammer, but apparently he's no longer allowed to use Warhammer in the title of any of his YouTube videos, or even in the description of any of his YouTube videos. Now, if this sounds crazy and nonsensical to you, well, that's because it is, but unfortunately it's also the reality that Arch Warhammer is finding himself in. But you don't have to take my word for it, as here's a response video from Arch Warhammer himself after having a lawyer look at the trademark claim.
Due to the wording used in this strike. One of the first things I did was send it over to my friend Kyle, who is a copyright agent and so has some experience in this, and his first reaction was, man, this guy is not very good at his job. That immediately tells you something, and the biggest problem is the wording in the strike. The strike claims that the usage of the word mark Warhammer is used on a YouTube channel that is monetized, is unofficial, and has Warhammer-related videos. That is amateurish wording, absolutely amateurish, because what Games Workshop has done now, or far more likely, this individual person has done, is state openly that Games Workshop consider the usage of the word Warhammer in the context of a YouTube channel, not the title, channel in entirety, as a violation of their trademark. In other words, if a YouTube channel has the word Warhammer in the title, in the description, in the video, etc., and it is monetized, it is not official, and it does a lot of 40k content, Games Workshop now considers that to be in violation of their trademark. Can you see the can of worms yet? Yes, I think you can. Because here's the problem.
So as we can see, this trademark claim is so extreme in its definition that it could apply to essentially anyone within the Warhammer community on YouTube. And if Arch Warhammer were to make Games Workshop take him to court over this, it could easily affect the entirety of the Warhammer community. So in other words, Games Workshop is essentially holding the entirety of the Warhammer YouTuber community to hostage in exchange to force Arch to bend to their will. This is nothing short of a horrific situation to be in. So Arch Warhammer is going to do something of a compromise and hope that that's enough, in order to avoid the consequences reaching everyone else. In other words, he has already changed his channel name from Arch Warhammer to Arch, which hopefully will be enough to get Games Workshop off his back, at least temporarily. Now you may be wondering why they've decided to go after Arch Warhammer specifically though. And while the motive is not 100% confirmed, Arch has at least received a few emails from people claiming to be Games Workshop employees that writers from Games Workshop have been actively plotting against Arch for years, and have been actively looking for means with which to attack him. In other words, this trademark strike appears to be little more than excuse-mongering in order to get Arch deplatformed, and silence both him and his fanbase. But even if that were not the case here, one has to keep in mind the fact that Games Workshop is now openly willing to threaten the entirety of their YouTube community by going after one man. Under no circumstances should that ever be seen as acceptable. And yet, as bad as that is, all they've managed to achieve at this point is demonstrate Arch's true character, as he is now proven to be a man who is willing to make personal sacrifices in order to protect the rest of the Warhammer YouTube community. And to that I say Arch is now the Jesus Christ of the Warhammer YouTube community, because he is being punished for your sins. And if some writers at Games Workshop have a problem with that, well, they only have themselves to thank, as they're the ones that have made this a reality. So naturally, as a result of all this, I'm going to be providing links in the description below to both Arch's main channel, as well as his response video. That way you can see what he has to say, as well as subscribe to him if you like, and see some of his other work. I'm also going to provide links to the meme image that I've used depicting Arch as Jesus Christ, as I believe that is exactly the sort of meme that should be spread around on social media in response to Games Workshop's decision. Naturally, I will also of course keep you guys informed should any more news transpire. But until then, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.